Well, it's another dark log again. It is the 4th of September, 2025. It's only 15 minutes before midnight, and then it'll be Friday. So, another day dealing with a dog, as usual. Listening to the political claptrap and then nearly laughing my ass off every time RFK Jr. started wheezing all over the place. I swear, he's got more breathing issues than I do. I mean, you're hearing the machine I have in the background. It's a CPAP. I suck out air in this thing so I can sleep. Helps regulate my breathing a bit. Got a machine. Fill it up with water every single time I use it, just to make sure I got the moisture going through the lungs and through the pipes because they require moisture. Not that much, but just enough for me to breathe and not choke on the fluids, but just enough to get a little bit of moisture in there. So while I'm thinking about this one, I'm also thinking about RFK Jr. having breathing issues. I mean, he sounded like Darth Vader, except I called him Darth Kennedy. And you hear him on the mic going, it's like, damn, where's your asthma medication? Where's your inhalers? At least I got one around here somewhere for me. Gotta send one to him. Thanks to the damn thing instantly if I could. I mean, he was listening to him and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, this is how he acts? In front of the camera, he's got to do this. And I'm thinking to myself, oh God, no. This is the same senator who got drafted, volunteered, however you want to look at it, as the Health and Human Secretary. Health and Human Sources, give me a break. This guy, a lawyer who didn't know his asthma hot rock concerning about medical, and yet he made all these conspiracy theories left or right about anti-vaxxing. I'll say it before necessary to get on my other videos. I have a personal thing against the medical establishment at this point over here. Granted, they saved my ass many times. But I had developed so much of a fear and a PTSD thing going on with these guys that every time I go around doctor's offices, or let alone pharmacies, my blood pressure starts going crazy. My pulse starts going faster, and I start to hyperventilate. And I have to keep it down when I'm walking through places like that. But when I'm talking to a therapist, I know, I trust, and still, the PTSD still flares. It does. And I have to keep telling my therapist about this one. Now, she knows that she's got it on record that I've got issues concerning about the medical establishment. I got medical records to substantiate this stuff. So it's a long history, and I keep talking about it because I know it's affecting me a great deal. Even if I don't talk about it, it still affects me a great deal. I look at the pharmaceuticals not online, but on a streaming service. I see the commercials. I see the commercials on YouTube. I see it anywhere concerning about try this drug for this thing over here. However, here's a list of the things that goes against you. This thing will solve one problem, but this will give you many more. Buy me now. All these happy people doing these things, and they talk so much worthwhile about the pharmaceuticals at this point, and I hear all the damn bad stuff that they legally have to say. And I'm thinking to myself, I am not becoming a lab rat. But I'm not telling people not to do this. It's up to you guys. But eventually, I still got to go over to the medical establishment just to see if I'm going to live long enough or die shortly. And dying is the thing I don't like to do. So the question is, then why aren't you going to the doctors? Because I hate to be turning into a damn lab rat, poked, prodded, pilled up, liquefied, nullified, vilified, and have my ills, chills, and wills and everything else going on with me saying, "You're doing fine, John." Oh, great! I'm about to ventilate. I'm about to go into a ventilator at this point over here, and you're saying I'm fine. Ah, you're just hyperventilating, man. Take a paper bag. Excuse me, paper bag. Yeah, take a paper bag and breathe into it and out. Uh huh. And this is supposed to help settle me. How when there's no paper bags around? Didn't we outlaw paper bags? Schmuck. Plastic bag? Oh, great. And you're a nurse's what? I'm the nurse's assistant. Not the physician's assistant, nurse's assistant. I'm in trouble now. I could try making a joke about the damn thing, but I've had one time dealing with another insurance company who sent me over to see a doctor, but then again, I get to see a nurse for all my chills, ills, and wills. And then she starts going after me because I walked in with a cane, telling me I don't need the cane. Now, are you kidding me, lady? I'm not going anywhere in this world without my cane. Even if I have to get a replacement, I don't care. I'm using a cane. It's like, well, you look fine. Uh-huh. Where's your MD degree? Where's the doctor? He's not here. I'm your doctor. Bye. And I'm supposed to be doing a blood work for these guys. And this was several years ago, before I got into another insurance company that I'm barely comfortable with as it is. You heard about legacies? Well, I think I'm a legacy, but I'm still utilizing portions of it that I hadn't used in ever. I don't knock against the medical establishment for anybody. I don't knock against vaccines. Despite my fear, despite my phobia, despite my PTSD going crazy, I managed to get myself stabbed a couple of times when COVID came out and they were doing the vaccinations. The first time around, the guy was okay. Next time, I had a lady try to do it to me, and I felt the damn needle. My arm was sore after that. But still, I got it because I didn't want to get the damn COVID versus the fear of needles. And I hate needles. People said, needles are no, they're just a little pinch, and that's about it. Just a little pinch. Just a little pinch. I don't knock against people who got diabetes type 1 and 2 when they have to take insulin shots. They got more courage than I do. They're dealing and facing their more mortality, so that's why they have to keep stabbing themselves with blood, with these little needles all the time. Get blood out of their skin, put it on strips, and put them in the machines, and just to see how bad their blood sugar is. If that isn't fun enough, they got these little devices with these little tiny needles that hook into your skin, and you have to be very careful when it comes down for showering. They have to have all these safeguards to keep it moisture free, or at least stick into your skin. Otherwise, I'm afraid what happens after that. But they're convenient because you don't have to keep sticking your fingers. You just touch your phone or touch whatever device it is and then get your blood work that way. I fell for a con at one point regarding no needles, and they would use infrared technology in the form of a pulse oximeter. They advertised a great deal. I mean, this device has been out here for here and there and everywhere, including on Amazon. And all it was a bloody pulse oximeter, not a blood sugar meter. I got plenty of pulse oximeters. I can stick in my fingers and get a lot of readings. But I haven't found this one miraculous device that's supposed to read through your skin of what the blood sugar is supposed to be. And I keep falling for that one. Twice I did. Now I got about 3 or 4 of the pulse oximeters. Hungry for batteries. It's one thing getting a small device for a heart. And I've seen that happen, and I got it. And I haven't been using it in a long while. I wonder where the hell the batteries are so I can get it replaced. And it's an EKG monitor. This thing works, actually. I mean, 2 fingers, left and right, hold still for a while. It gets the readings, and then it transmits it to a cardiologist. They look at the information, switch it back. Then I'm actually able to look at the graphs and see whether or not I'm in trouble or not. $80, they said. Yeah, well, I paid about 50 or 60 bucks a long time ago. I just need to get fresh batteries for the monster. But they also tell you to subscribe to their service so they can keep track of you. Everybody wants to keep track of you. That machine that you hear in the background, my CPAP machine, it's also on the wireless. Yeah, there's secrets out there. But there's machines like these out there that people will use and transmit information either to the doctors or to the companies. And then they'll give you readings back saying, "What do you think you're doing off the mask?" I'm talking on a video. "Well, put your mask back on." I don't do too well when it comes time for doctors telling me what I need to do and what I don't need to do. And maybe I should have done that a long time ago, but growing up as a kid, I get poked, I got prodded. And not just because I was diabetic, which I wasn't during those days. No, I had a heart condition. When you have heart surgery and you die on the table 3 times, come back to life 3 times, they want to make sure I was working properly. So all of my ages from 4 to 18, I had to keep going into the doctor's office 3 to 4 months, sometimes 6 months. Check on the old ticker, but then check out on my blood work. Which where I started developing the fear and paranoia and everything else going on. Because the pediatrician was old school, he didn't take too well to kids having conniption fits. I didn't take too well to the guy anyway. But I owe him my life, God rest his soul. And to the cardiologist to save my life. When they were taking the stitches out of me, they're staples. Used a staple remover. Same thing that you would remove staples with. Nice sharp thing. Put the edges at the staples and then rip it open. For a 4-year-old who's got very sensitive skin, I had screamed and yelled my head off in every language and every form of thing I could say in utter defiance and ugliness. My mother was having a kittens and the doctor saying, "He's in pain, Marianne." Well, actually, no. "He's in pain, Marianne." I was in pain. I was in pain. He didn't use my mother's first name. It's Mr. Shaw. He's in so much pain right now. This is the only way he can do it. But the language was not my fault. "Johnny, are you alright?" I learned that if I was going to get that much great pain, hold the damn thing in and tear myself apart inside later on. I couldn't deal with it. I really could not deal with it. Every time there was doctors, I always had to endure the damn sticking of a needle one way or another. If it was getting shot in the ass, tetanus shot in the ass. We got sliced in the foot, tetanus shot in the foot. And then number. "You couldn't freeze the skin first? It gets tougher to be put in." "I don't care, I don't get to feel the damn needle." "Sorry, doink." Comical it may sound like. It isn't. It wasn't. I avoided doctors in my adult life. If I got sick, I got sick. If I needed antibiotics, well, I needed to get my ear washed out. That's one thing. I can deal with a whoosh. Meaning, hydrogen peroxide some doctors will use, or other kind of weird ass oils that they pour in your ear. Of course, you got it tilted. And you got to let it swirl around in there for about 15-20 minutes. And if it's hydrogen peroxide, you feel the tickle like crazy. And then it's the lukewarm whoosh. A flood of water rushing into your ear to relieve it of any and all earwax that's compacted. That's giving your ears quite a hassle. And believe me, I've been through it many times. It's not fun. I didn't mind the whoosh. But also around that same time, I was getting the whoosh going through my ears. I was also having the breathing issues, hence part of CPAP and an emergency rescue inhaler just in case. When you start vapor locking, you can't breathe. I mean, I can gulp in the air, I couldn't release it. The lungs, the trachea, from here downwards, was closing up. I could drink water, no problem, but it wouldn't release it. Until I relaxed enough and it just released, and then next day I'm seeing my doctor, and then I see another doctor. I see an allergy asthma specialist. If he was almost like a pediatrician, or actually like an adult doctor, maybe general physician, I would have taken this guy. His staff I liked. They tested me out for allergies and had serum. I had to go in for every week, and then 2 weeks, and then about a month maintenance until the insurance changed and I no longer got to see the guy. And then I had to go through it again until I changed insurance again. It's gotten to the point where my asthma is maintained because I'm not getting myself triggered as much. I carry a commercial inhaler with me just in case. And I hadn't used it in a hell of a long while because I haven't got triggered. But I know I'm going to need to get that damn thing replaced. But as for CPAP, that's the other thing. Besides seeing the allergist, then I had to get tested for CPAP. I got severe sleep apnea, narcolepsy, shit, insomnia. Yeah, all the fun stuff. I lived in the San Fernando Valley most of my life, so my body built up a hell of a lot of intolerance to a lot of stuff. Come out here to the Antelope Valley, not as much, but it's still out there. But I'm not as triggered as much. I have to watch out for some of those triggers. Smoke's one of those triggers, so I gotta watch out for that. It's not somebody smoking cigarettes. No, it's fire. It's brush fire and the smoke and acrid smell out there kind of triggers me, so I have to watch out for that. But yeah, if we're dealing with my lungs without getting myself poked, prodded, and stabbed, I'll deal with that. And the recent, my mind's been breaking apart left and right mentally, so yeah, I have to get duct tape by going to therapy. Yeah, mentally we'll talk, so I'll put another strip of duct tape on a memory or so. Meanwhile, the dog is awake and she's fussing at me, so I gotta see what the hell's going on with her. That being said, guys,